Hi there, and welcome to this quick set all about social change and the rock stars that make it all happen. My name's Joe, and today we're going to go through some examples of social change rock stars. We're going to identify some key character traits that they all share, and then challenge ourselves to be more rock star. I can't wait to get started, but before we do, go grab a pen and paper. We'll be using it later. So, what is social change? When does it happen? And what makes it happen? Well, the answer can seem big, unachievable, and maybe even scary, but it's not. It's really quite simple. Social change happens all around us, every day, and it's us, you and me, your neighbour, your friend, your colleague, that drives it. If we look at history, we can identify some really big social changes. Women securing the vote, thanks in a large part due to the suffragette movement and Emmeline Pankhurst. The fight for racial justice due to the efforts of Martin Luther King Jr. and his followers. And what about now? With social change in relation to the environment, people are much more conscious of their environmental impacts and how they can reduce it. Electric cars, turning down the heating, recycling, and even spending more on products because they're carbon neutral. And I bet you can think of a young Swedish girl who is a social change rock star for the environment. It's Greta Thunberg, of course. So who else can you think of? People who are social change rock stars are all around us. When did you last notice one? What about Marcus Rashford, campaigning for free school meals during COVID times and school holidays, so that thousands of children didn't go hungry? Elton John, a massive actual rock star who set up the Elton John AIDS Foundation, but social change doesn't have to be as large and international, history-defining moments. You don't need to be a millionaire or have a stage in front of thousands of people. They can have just as much impact on a local basis near where you live. Even the other day, I was watching an episode of Casualty 24/7. You know, one of those programs that shows A&E and how it all works behind the scene. And there was a volunteer in the A&E whose job it was to help out, make patients feel more welcome, and generally support the staff in the hospital. Janet is a social change rock star. Janet had launched a campaign, raised some money, and got reusable water bottles for the staff, so they didn't continue using polystyrene cups. A small, simple change, but a powerful one. And finally, to prove young people can make a change too, Henry Day, who aged 8 started raising awareness for his local nature reserve, primarily through his YouTube channel. Good on you, Henry. And if you want to read more about these stories or find other inspiration, you can just Google Points of Light Award and see thousands of social change rock stars. Well, I had the pleasure of talking to a local social change rock star myself, CEO and founder of Youth Leads, based in Manchester, Saeed Atcha. Saeed is an awesome young man who grew up in the care system, found something he cared about, something that he wanted to change, and went on to start a charity to combat that very issue. But enough from me. Let's hear what Saeed had to say. Saeed, I know a bit about you because we've had a bit of a conversation before, but let us know, introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Saeed Atcha. I'm Chief Executive of Youth Leads UK, which is a charity that I set up at the age of 15 when I was annoyed with how negatively young people were viewed. So I wanted to do something about it.
Amazing, good stuff. All right, so today, Saeed, we're talking all about social change rock stars, of which I can happily say you are in that category. So first thing, what characteristics do you think social change rock stars have, or what characteristics are most important?
To me, the characteristics that are most important are those that are really within you, the head and heart. Those are the biggest things for me, because from that you get to know what you're passionate about. And you then start to build purpose within yourself, you start to figure out, where can I make a difference? What can I do? And it starts with the head and heart, because it's about things that annoy you. It's about things that you see and you think, that's not quite right. The injustice in society that you see, you want to do something about it.
Yeah.
So head and heart, huge. Passion when you're leading, huge. Honesty. Honesty is, you have to be honest. The best leaders are the honest, open and transparent leaders. But courage.
Yeah.
Being able to take that first step. I grew up in the care system, and my life is hugely different to what I thought it would be and what society would have expected it to be for me. So if I wasn't courageous to want to do better and, set up the charity that I did when I was 15 and then go on to keep championing young people, if I didn't have that courage, I certainly wouldn't be where I am. And I think that's got to be a huge part of being a social change rock star. The courage to take that step, that first step, to make a difference. The world has changed over the past few years, and it's up to young people to rebuild it. So yes, anyone can be a social change rock star.
Yeah, amazing. Short and sweet. Absolutely, yes. Full stop. I love that. So there'll be some people, being inspired by what you're saying, maybe discovering or realizing that, you are right. Yes, I can be a social change rock star. How do they get started? What would you recommend for people to get started on that journey?
The first thing I would recommend is to say to yourself, I'm going to do this. It starts with mindset and building the mindset that you are there. You are there to make the world a better place. You are there to make a difference and take that first step, whatever that step is for what it is you want to do, whether that's writing a letter to a member of parliament, whether that's attending your first protest, or whether that's signing your first petition. Take that first step, because once you start, it's really easy to carry on. And for me, when I had the idea to set up Youth Leads UK, I took the first step of writing to businesses asking for donations to make the thing happen. If I didn't take that first step, we wouldn't exist. So it's hugely important to really think about the difference that you want to make. Try and think about how you want to get there, identify a few steps, and then just go and smash it. Go and take those steps. Write that letter, attend that protest, and start to make the difference.
I loved speaking to Saeed, an awesome guy, and I loved those key traits he identified: passion, purpose, honesty, and courage. How are you going to embody these traits while you're on your social action journey? What I'd like you to do is get out your phone and create a new note. Or create a post-it note on your computer, or even use the paper that you have with you. Write down my social change rockstar journey. And underneath, I want you to write down a social change that you would like to see happen. Have a real think about it. Think about the communities that you live in or visit regularly. Perhaps it's your school, your college, or university. It could be where you live or where you work. What is the one thing, the one change that you would like to make about that place? Do you have a water fountain at work with plastic cups next to it? Perhaps an alley or a park near your home that's constantly full of litter. Next, write down what you're going to do about it. And most importantly, why? Why is that change important to you? Then take Saeed's advice and get going. Find people who care about that issue too and do something about it. Start yourself on that journey to be a social change rockstar And remember, you don't need to change the whole world. Small, simple things that can change the world of those around you is where it all starts.
It's mad because I actually don't know the person behind this whole thing, but my favorite Instagram page is Your Positive News, and I feel like the guy who's behind it saw that a lot of blogs were like thriving off information that wasn't necessarily information that like would uplift people, and said, you know what, I'm gonna flip that and I'm gonna post everything positive. So you'll just see random things come up on your feed, like proper tearjerkers, stuff that I love to see, people helping the homeless, people helping people in like unfortunate situations. And I just feel like what he's doing is so beautiful, because in the whole social sphere of things, it's so easy to get caught up in what's like popping, that might be juicy but might not necessarily be healthy, like narratives to push out to just anybody, to be fair, whether teenagers, adults, kids. So I'm like, I can't lie, I love what he does. I wish I knew who he was and I could put a face to the name, but the fact that he does it anonymously for me is like one of the greatest things about it anyway. So yeah, you guys should follow him, he's sick. I think it's a he, could be a she, plot twist. Yeah, whoever, doing an amazing job.
So remember, to be more social change rockstar, start with passion. Make a plan of action, and remember, there's more people who believe in the change you're trying to make happen than you think. Check out the range of mentors we have at Apprentice Nation, and feel free to sign up for a mentor from companies such as Catch22, NCS, and Revolution Hive, who would welcome talking through their social action courses. Here are 3 Apprentice Nation quick sets I'd recommend to you as a next step. Demystifying social action. What is a social entrepreneur? And presenting social action on your CV. And I'll leave you with this Robin Williams quote. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world.